Namaste everyone. This episode of Guftgu with Diksha, we have Joseph Reddy with us, who is Senior Vice President heading Knight Frank today, with all of us discussing lot many things. We shared the same stage where we both were speakers together at one of the conference at Mumbai. All right, sir. So welcome, Joseph. I'm really pleased. I'm really excited to, talk to you, conversate with you, and learn from you. So not only me, but I'm sure a lot of young people out there, who be on LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, or any of the platform, they must be very, very excited to listen more, and not to only listen what leadership is all about. I think they should also learn how we can, become more great leader in the department, in any department. But we take care of the FM industry, because FM industry is one industry where people might take it for granted कि ये तो है ही, and it's very easy to dive into that. But so that's pretty much interesting for all of us to know a very deep understanding of the industry first, then how we want to go into the leadership model, right? So yeah, I think that's it. So thank you so much for joining in.
Thank you, Diksha. Thank you for this opportunity.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's a great pleasure and honor to me, to have this interactive session with you and also share my thoughts, my experience,
Yes.
and about the FM industry, and also on the leadership and deliverables. So I'm sure that everyone has their own stories and their own experience.
Probably my first question to you is, talk about your past experience, your journey, how you felt like, okay, I am today, I'm successful enough, right? So I want to understand your past experience so far till reaching here at Knight Frank.
Yeah, I start with one thing. I was never for the entrepreneurship, but I really appreciate you taking up this at this young age in the startup company, and glad to see how you have been rising in your field, high above, and I wish you all the best for that.
Thank you.
And yes, and if you ask me, for everybody, the journey has to begin with a dream, right? That there has to be a dream, and then there has to be ambition, there has to be goal, objectives, and the fire in your belly, right?
Yes.
So these things are very important. And frankly, I was not born with a silver spoon. I had to start my career in a very humble manner, from a stenographer, and then gradually, I moved on up the ladder in different career platforms, right? But I always had a dream, I need to become a general manager. That was my dream when I started my career about 35 years ago. And I want to be a general manager of HR and administration. That was my dream. And then I followed all through. I started my career as a stenographer, then moved on to join a paramilitary force as a sub-inspector. And then I moved on from there to a corporate sector, started with National Dairy Development Board. So if you see, I have a public sector and private sector experience.
Correct.
Then I thought, in the public sector and government sector, there is a limitation for your career growth. And why not I, aim for getting into private sector where I can really grow well, and the way in which I wanted to grow. But my ambition doesn't, go just with the dream and the ambition, but it has to come with a lot of hard work, right? And this hard work also it has to go parallelly with your academic background, your education. If you see your career graph, you take the ladder. Even if you climb the ladder, and if you climb the ladder up in your career, but your education level is here, you are bound to fall down, right?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
when you move up, you have to upgrade your knowledge and your skills. So it has to go parallelly. That's what I did in my life. So then I did my postgraduate diploma in personal management. Then I did my law, 3 years law. I was a topper in my college in Mumbai, and law is my passion. I am a hardcore litigant also. So that is how I built my career over a period of 35 years. So coming to the facility management arena, so I would call it as a real estate operation, or people normally they call it as a corporate real estate, right? So that I started, and I'm doing it for the last 19 years. I had the best opportunity to work with a topmost developer called Hiranandani Group in Mumbai. So they are the one who changed the skyline of Mumbai, and they are the one who have set up the township. It's a self mixed use integrated township. Okay, when I mean it is integrated township in the midst of the city. In the midst of the city, they had residential, they had commercial, they had all the social infrastructure like school, college, hospital, and parks, amenities. 40% is the green belt, and people don't have to really commute to to work there. So everything was there, and the retail, shopping, restaurants, top of that. So I was managing that township almost for 13 years, directly working with the promoter. So that gave me a very good experience, in the real estate arena. I would say it's just not the facility management, but also asset management and also corporate real estate and the client management. So that was a great experience. Then I moved on to Mahindra Lifespace, managed Pan India, the residential segment and the World City Chennai. And this was another milestone because we made a record-breaking handover of 2,400 flats in 1 year. The record, when before I joined, it was only 829 or something, but we did 2,004. Imagine 9 projects all across the country, and I set up the entire system process and cutting, the role of a consultant. We just canceled the consultant. I did that, set up a lot of SOPs process, and then the reporting mechanism from all the regions and all the cities, and also reviews. And people always, they get connected to me because I'm a person that I like my team to learn, and also I learn from them, and we really make a partnership. That is how the result is. It's a very happy result. It is very effective and powerful. Also, I was in developer. I was working. I was also serving the clients. I had 250 clients, topmost clients like Lehman Brothers. All those people. Then we had PricewaterhouseCooper, Deloitte Consulting, and all, you name anybody, 250 clients I had, okay, in Hiranandani. So that's how I built my career successfully. So hard working is most important, knowledge, upgrading your skill, and it never stopped for me. Again, when I want to leave Hiranandani saturated, I reinvented. There's no age limit for success, right? Yes. So the success is for any age. Okay, but these days, we have youngsters, right? Mm-hmm. And they are really, rattling, the every phase of the services, the business now. Mm-hmm. But one caution I would always advise is that be rational, because if you happen to see Simon Sinek video, please, on this, you please listen to about millennials. They have been, born as a spoiled brats. Even if the guy gets the last rank, a trophy is to be given. This is how the concept. The parents, they want their trophies. It's a good thing. Emotionally, it is good, right? But there are so many things he talks about. Please get on to that. And you must learn the adaptability, and you must learn the humility, which is more important. And we don't have, these days, we don't have that humility, really.
Superb, sir.
Yeah.
And this complete journey was such a great, roller coaster ride. But then there is one thing that is common, is perseverance and never lose hope, and never, ever lose your learning. So that's incredible. But I have one question, because like you said, these days what happened, youth really want everything on the fingertips. Mujhe abhi chahiye. That's why they feel it, right? Just say for example, if I'm searching something, I go to on YouTube and search, and I'll get it today. So they are very impatient, right? The youth today is very impatient. They want everything right now on the table. They don't want to work for that. So what's your take on people who say ki, okay, they don't want to wait like 3 years or 4 years for the success. Maybe they want a GM post, or maybe like a director post, or maybe they open your own startup, but they really don't want to put that much effort into that, and they just want money out of it. So for those particular people, for those particular mindset, what's your take on it? Like, okay, sit back, and these are the things that you can do to motivate yourself every day. So what's your take, Joseph?
See, this thought of that kind of people is nothing wrong in it. Yes, they can have that, right? And
Yes.
I'm sure that they would even be able to achieve it. So we cannot doubt on what's in their mind, right? So if someone has got some dream and they want to pursue and achieve it, they will definitely achieve it. Definitely, it may be a year or 2 years or 3 years. A lot of startup companies. I'm with a young, their brains, from IITs and IIMs. They have really achieved. They have got millions or billions of dollars as well. So nothing wrong in it. But only the thing is that we have to be very rational in our thinking. Number one. And number two, our behavior should also take along the team people and the people whom you are connecting with and you are influencing, which is very, 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 very important. And don't ridicule others, right? And even if somebody does something wrong, there is a way that you can handle it. I tell you one example. In Hiranandani, I did the biggest blunder in my life.
Okay.
I went to Mr. Niranjan Hiranandani. I told him, sir, I have done the biggest blunder and this is what I have done.
Yes.
He said, Joseph, you have come to me realizing your mistake. That's the beginning of your learning. So I am happy about it. That's it.
Wow.
See, that's how, yeah, you have to accommodate people, right? And be very positive. And then, to achieve whatever you dream. Again, I go back to Simon Sinek. I like him, like all of us know what we do, right?
Correct.
Now also, what we do and how we do, we know. But why we do is a big important factor. That's the differentiator. Okay. So why you do? He is always obsessed with Apple. His exams are all about Apple, right? So that why is most important for you to achieve that. Okay. So why is what? Cause your belief, right? And the result that you want to get in, how you want to get that result, right? So these are very, very, very important, and you must keep that in mind. You have to be a differentiator. You have to be innovative, and do not destroy the others' feelings. Take everybody along with you and value their emotion and have empathy. Put yourself into their shoes.
All right, Joseph, that was wonderful. So you talk about like how people should not go, or especially youth should not go every time after like, I really need it. You have to wait for that thing to happen. So that's brilliant. Now, the next question I would appreciate you to answer me pretty well is how you think, like we talk about youth, and the only thing that we don't train them is the education system. There is no problem in the current education system, but then we do have peer groups. Say, for example, there are 5 people who are standing together. They don't have their personal opinion, but they do listen to someone, right? And they make that opinion. I'm not sure whether that opinion is right or the fact is right or wrong, but they make certain opinion because my friend said that this is right. So in that perspective, any factor, maybe it is in a business, or it's in relationship, or it's in personal life, how you what's your take on opinions and making your mindset what's right is right, and I should not go by something like what people tell me to go. So what's your take on it? How we should refrain from others people thinking? So yeah.
It all starts with your value system. How you have come out, grown in the value system, right? It doesn't mean that you have to be in that righteous value system, but you also learn all throughout the value system. You have to be honest, you have to be candid, you have to be frank, you have to be transparent, and then you really have to care for others and listen from others. So, which is very, very important. And but one thing is, the most critical is what you are saying is, the common opinion you just pick up. That is from outside in.
Absolutely.
Never go for outside in. Go inside out. What you are. Again, that the why is going to play a lot of role in it.
Yes.
Be why.
Of course.
Yeah, that is how you should do. So see, the communication is also again very important. I just want to touch upon the communication. Um, when you have a communication, whether it is with a single person or with a group of people, you have to really connect with him. Like, you have to actively listen. When you listen, you are also experiencing the other person or person's feelings, their expressions. Then only you will be able to understand and engage and connect with that person. That is more important. So once your communication, see, once you spell out a word which is even a bit of negative, you can't take it back. So how that could affect, and your communication style, your communication words have to be different. Whether if it is a Diksha, what is she, how you have to communicate. And if you have to communicate to the Prime Minister, you have to be a different guy. So you will have to tune up your communication. Your mind plays a lot of things in that. That is more important. And don't fall to the opinion of all the time of the outside opinion. But you also have to really rationalize. And if the opinion outside is wrong, say if you are if you see in Sushant's murder case,
yes,
the Mumbai police are unearthing 80,000 fake accounts. So they're trying to create opinion, right? The media have also picked up, right? So if people are going on those opinions, right, you're going wrong. So you rationalize yourself and you have your balanced mind and act from inside out.
That's
and true to yourself. True to yourself.
Yes. So thinking inside out is something pretty well. So I'll take you through the journey of lockdown. Like, we all suffered during the lockdown. So what impacted you? Like, what had this lockdown journey impacted you as a leader? And then probably you can come and explain me something about like how a young person can make dreams to become someone like you, someone like so great in your own fraternity. So that's majorly two questions. Start with the lockdown, how it impacted you, how people should react towards it, and then how they achieve to become a leader just like you. So yeah, over to you, Joseph.
Yeah. See, Mumbai was the worst affected during the lockdown. All of us know. So during this lockdown, I tell you, I want to share my boss, how he was driving all of us as a leaders during the lockdown. He kept us connected and engaged all the time. Whether it was a group discussion, whether it was on the daily leadership call, or on the business call, or on the negative impact and how we can come out of the negative impact to positive impact. And he was like thrashing us, like, with lot of meetings and Zoom calls. To be frank, I was frustrated. And every meeting, he used to say Mumbai, is worst affected, that business is getting affected, this business guy is getting affected. I was getting frustrated because I believed in myself, and I'm sure all those things are temporary, and I would come out of successfully. I knew the pulse of my client. I knew how good I am connected with the client and how I'm going to turn around. So I was confident. Okay. So this really was putting me into a lot of stress. But what I did, I took up my running. I took up my challenge because I'm also into fitness. So I took up my running, and I did almost from lockdown till now, maybe more than 1,000 kilometers I have jogged.
Wow.
And I did not succumb to to my pressure, but I worked very hard with all of my clients, explaining to them, this is what the business is, and this is how, during this lockdown and COVID and that situation, we have to work this way. So I was connected with them, explaining to them, and we need your support, and what support we need, whether it is, payment of salary, or, on optimization of manpower without reducing much of the people, because, people losing the job is very, very, very difficult, right? So I tell you, during this lockdown, in my site, I have not lost even a single employee of Knight Frank employee, to be honest. Everyone are working. Okay. And then coming to my boss, though I was frustrated, after, once the situation starts becoming normalized, I loved and hugged my boss. Boss, you did a fantastic job of keeping us connected, engaged, collaborated, communicated, bombarded every day. But never mind, now I'm successful. I am onto my revenues. I am onto my profit margins. So I am really taken off very, very well. So this is one part of it, right? Second, you're asking, about, the facility management guys, how, they can also make use of it. See, facility management team, is always there, whether it is a pandemic or whether there is no pandemic, we are there to take care of, the soft to technical services, the corporate services. It's not going to go, right? But you must, even today, my IFM, Integrated Facility Management, maybe 60% of my offices are still not open. The guys are working from home. So from March till now, so I used to have a session with my guys. Guys, you learn something. Maybe that you get, to learn. See, now a lot of online tools are there, right? For the, whether it is a facility management or it is for the communication, presentation skills, or it's your leadership skills, anything. You have every videos and tools online. You can do that. Or you upgrade your qualification and the skill set. You can even go and you can be an auditor for ISO. There you will learn the systems and process, and you will be precise and professionally. You will be meticulous. Or you learn on the ISO 14001, become an auditor of that, or OSAs, right? For that reason, of occupiers' safety and health. You can learn. Now even asset management, there is a difference between facility management and asset management, right? The facility management is occupier space within the four walls, corporate offices, whereas the asset management is the developers or investor space of a common area management. Okay, so even for asset management, there is ISO 55001 or 50001, I'm not sure, that has come. So you can do that, and you can take up some courses from Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors. And see, earlier facility management, people learn on the job. Administrative guy, I like me. If you see from administration, then I fine tune. And again, there is a story to that. In 1998, when I came to know that facility management is going to be one of the great opportunity for me, what I did from corporate, I joined a small housekeeping contractor who was doing 4.5 crores turnover, exclusive housekeeping. Okay, so I wanted to have my marriage with that company for a limited period to learn and give what I have learned.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
So from housekeeping, with my limited knowledge in 1998, so then I got into understanding about what is facility and what are the different kind of services that are required and what is the client expectation. I started preparing at that point of time my own presentation to companies like Reliance. And to be frank, I bagged big contracts. I'm telling you, I'm not a technical guy. Perfectly, I mastered in one of my business with Reliance for electrical transformers and all the electrical installation. I had a great learning from my team and I presented well. And finally, they are asking me, are you an electrical engineer? Same way with Mahindra.
Wonderful.
Mahindra, when I was heading, I used to be, learn and then share and then put questions and everything and do my facility management operation. And most of the people ask me, are you a civil engineer? Are you a mechanical engineer? I said, no. My college, I had done my MBA. Again, when I reinvented my wheel, 2013, I took it from distance education. I did my accreditation from Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors, London. See, why I'm saying this is because, like, you are all maybe in the FM industry, you want to grow as a FM CRE leaders, right? So I reinvented. Then I did my accreditation from RICS, and then I also took up my CRE course from Fornet Global. So that was a seminar online learning. I did globally shortest time, in 10 months time I completed that course actually. So that is how I upgraded my knowledge also. So this is how I came up in the facility management, and I want all of you also, please don't stop learning. There are so many avenues. You Google and see what are the courses, for you to learn from your phone, right? So you can also do lead certificate. Lead AP is another good thing. That's mostly for technical. But even I'm thinking that should I take that? Not technical guy doing that. Yes, you can do. There is a wellness certificate, right? Now, lead, provides a certification for a silver rated building or a gold rated building or the platinum rated building, in terms of caring for environment and providing the better health. But now we have wellness certification. So that goes deep into the health of the person, how they interact with the community. Nitran has got tied up with Delos from US. We are launched in India in 2018 October. We launched that. So you can also become a wellness accredited professional. So try to learn and get accreditations, and then you will gradually move on in your career path. But one thing is most important is that client. Client is most important for you. I'm telling you. So you have to connect to the client. What he wants and how you deliver is most important. If he is happy, his internal employee customers are happy, then that's where you will also have a sense of your success and growth.
Perfect, Joseph. So I have another last question to wrap up. Like you said a lot of about, like, you have online courses, we have lot many sources, but then how you help, because what happened in youth journey, like in my age or people like less than 45, they are, if they search something online, they lose concentration. So how you think that people should be concentrated towards, say for example, if I opt for a course from a LinkedIn or somewhere else or Coursera, right? At that point of time, I'm doing that particular course, but I diverted to YouTube and see some other videos. So that's happening in most of the people, not only entrepreneurs or employees. I mean, every youth out there is facing such a problem, what called concentration issues. So you being so great leader, how you think that youth or anybody in the corporate world or personal world or maybe a student can improve the concentration level to become more successful and more concentrated towards their life and towards the goal. Over to you, Joseph.
See, one has to be focused. That's most important. Our mind is like a monkey, right? Jumping here and there. But that's what obviously you stated that, yes. But you need to be very much focused. If you are focused, definitely, and you should know what you want to learn. I'm telling you, being focused and what you want to learn. That's what I'm saying. It should be inside out, right? So when you know what you want to learn and when you are focused, then you choose that course. And you're saying concentration. I'm telling you, this young generation, the concentration levels are, not even for me, I would say that. Then I may have to cool down my mind and everything, That's the thing what we do. But when you pick up studies, I'm telling you, your concentration level goes up. I tell you, I got a very short memory in studies, right? I did my law in 40 days. My every law, I do it in 25, 30 days, every year, 3 years course, okay? Same way, MBA, I tell you, when I took up, I did, I think in 1.5 years, I did that. And I scored about 75%. So in mine was the first batch. 40% was the essay writing and 60 percentage was the MCQ. Okay. Yeah. And I used to take the book and study. I first structure, which are the chapters I do my homework. I need to select my chapters. And then I used to sit between 12 hours to 18 hours on the chair. Keep studying. My short memory retention is so good, right? And I go and give the exam. Maybe that after some time I might forget, but I bring in that concentration. You can bring in the concentration if you focus and if you sit quietly and you start preparing yourself. That is how I have done Diksha.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Joseph. And it's lovely that you are in our show. Thank you. We are very, very grateful to you and your time. I appreciate and welcome back on different other shows. I will appreciate you, everybody will learn. Definitely will come back on great questions from our audience. But I would love to do a second round where we have questions and then you can help us with the answers, definitely on the round number 2. But thank you so much for joining. and I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Diksha. Thank you for this opportunity, and wishing you and your team of InQSense, all the best. And you have a lot of opportunities, and I'm sure that you are going to surprise the people in this country one day with your kind of, the growth and your contribution to the society. And I also want to thank all the audience, and this was my learning and my journey. I'm sure that you will also have your learning and your journey. Most of the things may match, or some of the things may not match, but never mind. Combination of all these things, will make the things, work out perfectly and positive. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thanks,
Wonderful
everybody.
day. God bless you all. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Bye. Bye.
Bye bye.